Joe, the future Hall of Fame tackle with the Cleveland Browns. He's got the Pro Bowl, had dodgeball. Joe, kind enough to join us. No spoilers. How did dodgeball go, Joe?
Well, I think dodgeball went exceptionally well. I think the players had a great time, the fans had a great time, and there was a fantastic, epic finish to the event.
Ooh. The most competitive person in dodgeball was who?
T.Y. Hilton.
Who drafted T.Y. Hilton for MVP? Paulie did. Okay, we had an MVP draft. Now, this was the last person standing, and no spoilers here. Who did I take here? I took Odell Beckham and Patrick Peterson. Can you give me an idea how those two did in dodgeball, Joe?
I think they had a respectable outing.
That's not any good.
Surprise.
That's not any good. That's not any good. Damn. Okay. All right. Fair enough. No injuries?
Everyone came out healthy.
See, that's the surprising part of this. I would have thought you get these guys and you're, moving laterally and banging into each other and somebody's going to get hurt. How were you in dodgeball being one of the bigger targets there?
Well, it's safe to say I won't be making the Pro Bowl in dodgeball next
year. Did you get hit quickly?
I did. I don't want to give anything away, but I was eliminated very, very quickly.
Who had the best arm aside from quarterbacks?
That's a good question. Actually, I would say probably T.Y. Hilton was the all-around MVP, and the biggest disappointment was the quarterbacks. I thought they would have been picking people off left and right, but they just did not have the dodgeball skills you'd expect.
Who was the least athletic person competing in dodgeball?
Outside of me, it was Jason Kelsey.
Kelsey?
Kelsey.
Really? I'm kind of surprised at that, right? I mean, he's a center, right?
He's a center, but you got to remember we were the only two offensive linemen selected. So the rest of the guys out there were skinny, fast guys. And quarterbacks, of course.
He's Joe Thomas, the Cleveland Browns All-Pro tackle. You guys are on the clock. If you're the one with the number one draft pick, if you were asked for input, who do you want with the number one pick? What position?
Well, the good news is they don't ask me for any input, so it doesn't matter what I say.
But I'm asking you input, Joe.
But thankfully you're asking me, and I would say you want to go defense. I think you need to get a pass rusher.
Really? Okay. Well, you got the kid out of Texas A&M, but Myles Garrett, so he might be somebody that you would consider at that position. But you think quarterback you're going too high for a quarterback at number one overall?
I think you got to be careful reaching for a quarterback at number one because if they fail, they don't help your team at all. Whereas if you pick a defensive lineman and maybe they don't live up to the hype, you can still find a place to get them on the field and to have an impact. And we're a team that we need guys that can come in and that can start and that can contribute. And I think that's the risk of taking a quarterback.
Do you remember when that draft, well, I'm sure you do, but when you and Brady Quinn were drafted, and what kind of feedback was it when you were drafted that high? When you're taking an offensive tackle that high, what kind of response did you get?
Well, I think I got a good response. I think the people in Cleveland understood the importance of the left tackle position. They'd seen their quarterbacks getting beat up a lot. And I think generally it's a blue-collar town, and they understand and they respect the role of an offensive lineman.
Yeah, it's just not a sexy pick, I think, and then people get all disappointed. Like when the Cowboys were drafting these offensive linemen the last couple of drafts, and their fans were going, oh, we got an offensive lineman. Then you turn around and you go, yeah, they have the best offensive line in football.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams, their fans would get disappointed with a lineman, but for whatever reason in Cleveland, I think they really accepted me, and they were excited about drafting me number 3. And I think it also helped, too, that we did draft a quarterback in Brady Quinn in the first round also, so they felt like they did get kind of both of those positions in one draft.
Have you ever had been on the field and not sure who the quarterback was?
Yes, actually. I think it was my 7th season. We had a guy named Josh Johnson who we signed a couple days before the game, and Thad Lewis got hurt in the game. He comes into the huddle, and when he came in the huddle, I stuck my hand out and I said, My name is Joe Thomas. Nice to meet you. I'm your left tackle.
How many quarterbacks have you played with, Joe?
It's well over 20. I'm not exactly sure the number right now, but it's in that mid-20 range.
Oh, my God. You might lead the league in that. And that's not a good category to lead the league in.
Yes, I would guess there's nobody that's played for more quarterbacks with one team than I have.
And you still have a few more years and probably another new quarterback coming in at some point.
There's a chance that number will get higher.
Hey, Joe, congrats. Good luck in the Pro Bowl. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Joe Thomas, Browns Hall of Fame tackle.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.